just have no idea how crazy an earthquake would be if you experienced it. In fact, we did experience one in Ottawa, and as you can see, this is from Tuesday, data from Tuesday, and look at the west coast of the United States, just a ton of seismic activity. We felt a 5 on the Richter scale a few years ago here in Ottawa, and you can only imagine how devastating a real earthquake can be. We're going to check out some natural disasters here at Nature Unleashed at the Museum of Nature. So it's Nature Unleashed. You're the program manager, Caroline Lanthier. Thank you very much for having us in here today. We're talking about natural disasters here. An earthquake has to be a big one.
Yes, it's one of the major ones that we're talking about here, and it's one of the major ones in Canada too.
What I like is everything here is hands-on, and kids and big kids alike can actually get right in there and create a big earthquake, right? And what we're seeing here is what?
Well, we're seeing how the base isolator makes the building float basically on the ground so that it doesn't collapse when the earthquake comes, as the building on the other, called the standard builders Inc., will shake from the top, and that's what will make it break.
Okay, so when you talk about some of the worst disasters we've ever seen from earthquakes, that's because the building itself didn't move with the earth.
Exactly.
We're in the Tornado Theater. Carolyn, this is something that Ottawa, folks in the Ottawa area are familiar with. Tornadoes do occur in Eastern Ontario.
Yes, they do.
And this is an amazing 360 experience. Do people react, are people pumped up when they get in here?
Yes, they are. And this is one of the most popular section of the exhibition. And we can see the tornado coming right at us. And in a few seconds, we'll be right in the middle of the tornado.
So that is such a cool experience. If this is an F2, which we're estimating it is, that's over 200 km/h winds.
Yes.
And so we're talking about significant damage from this if this were to come by. And as it goes by, it's not just what you see, it's also what you hear.
What you feel and what you hear. You really feel like you're in the middle of it and you're getting all the debris and the water and the wind.
It's the debris. I can imagine that could be a major problem for people who are in the middle of this.
Yes, it's quite hazardous to be in the middle of that, as you can tell.
You can't talk about natural disasters without talking about volcanoes. Carolyn,
Yes.
What kind of volcano were we just looking at? What's a shield volcano?
A shield volcano is a volcano that has very low gas and very low goo, which is silica, but we call it goo.
Okay, I like goo. Good.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So
good term.
that's what makes a flat volcano. It's very thick and it flows slowly and it accumulates in layers.
Okay, excellent. So the cool thing about this is, and part of the exhibit is, are we going to make our own volcano?
Yes, we're going to make our own volcano.
Okay.
Yours against mine.
And we can take a look at our volcanoes. So this is cool. This shows the history of the volcano at first, right? And then how it actually
develops.
forms. So if you see mine, it's a huge explosion. A stratovolcano is what I've made.
Yes.
Look at that.
And I've made a cinder cone. So lots of gas, but very low silica. So low silica is flying and then it falls down and accumulates around the
actual cone itself, so it creates a higher mountain. This stratovolcano, how often do we see these? Not very often, I hope.
Not very often, but they're the most dangerous volcanoes. The Pompeii volcano, for example, Mount St. Helens were both stratovolcanoes.
Wow, and those are devastating to anyone who lives anywhere near it.
Near it, yes, because of the pyroclastic flow that just runs down the mountain.
All right, and we do see people who continue to live their lives around volcanoes.
Yes,
that seems strange.
It seems strange, but the land is very fertile around volcanoes, so there's one of the reasons why people do settle around them.
All right. Nature Unleashed, indeed, one of the biggest, most devastating natural disasters that can happen in our part of the world is the hurricane, Carolyn.
Yes.
If you didn't understand the power of one, this tree is an excellent demonstration.
Yes, this tree was taken off Florida, and it comes from Hurricane Hugo in 1989. So, and that hurricane is the biggest of to hit the east coast of the United States and Florida since 1954.
One of the cool things I really like about Nature Unleashed is the fact that you actually get to experience a lot of this, and no better example of that than in the hurricane simulator right on the first floor.
Yes, so we have a great hurricane simulator. It's a Force 1 hurricane, but you'll see it's quite windy and your hair will go up.
So it's a Category 1. What kind of winds will I be experiencing when I step into that?
125 kilometers an hour.
And that's enough, isn't it?
That's enough.
The exhibit opens today, and this is serious wind. Hurricane force winds in the hurricane simulator. Nature Unleashed, indeed, wildly windy. This is only like a Category 1. I can't even imagine a Category 4 or 5 even.